The 5500 SC ammonia monochloramine analyzer is designed to easily keep itself accurate by automatic calibrations or manual calibrations using onboard standards that are housed in 2-liter jugs in the bottom compartment. To access the calibration menu, you press the hard key at the bottom and it gives us a bunch of different options. First and foremost, one can initiate or start a manual calibration by using the top choice. Let's go down into Set Auto Calibration. First of all, we can enable or disable the instrument from doing a periodic automatic calibration. The default setup on the analyzer is for the auto calibration to be enabled. The standard solution that is used is a 2 part per million ammonium as nitrogen standard. So that's the default standard that the instrument is shipped with. The calibration, the auto calibration, can be set up on 2 different time bases. Either by days of the week, the default being Sunday, or we can change it to a number of hours. Notice it's currently set to days, and we have a weekday set up where we can choose the days of the week that the calibration is performed. So Sunday is default. Also, if you're doing it by days of the week, you have the ability to choose the time at which the calibration is performed. The default is 2 o'clock in the morning. But notice if we want to switch to a different time base, we can select hours instead. And when we do that, the days of the week goes away and we're enabled to choose the interval. Notice the default value is 168 hours, which is once every 7 days. But we'll switch it back to the time base, which is default. We'll do it by days of the week. And so now it's set up to, again, calibrate only on Sundays at 2 o'clock in the morning. Also in the calibration menu, you can review the current calibration data, which tells you the date and the time that the next calibration is to be performed, and the analytical results of the previous calibration and the date and the time that it was performed. It gives you the slope of both colorimetric cells, the value for 0, and then also the specific absorbance values in cell 1 and cell 2. So you can review many details of the previous calibration. You can override a calibration. You can return to a default calibration if necessary. And finally, the output calibration is a means of calibrating the electrical signal on the 4 and 20 milliamp outputs that you may be using to communicate data with an external digital control system or chart recorder and the like. Let's go ahead and initiate a manual calibration to show you how the process works. So we've selected manual calibration. This would be the same as what is done during an automatic calibration. It's just simply initiated by the user. So we press enter to continue, and we're given a choice like usual to interrupt the current cycle, yes or no. To save time, we'll choose yes and press enter. Now the process will walk through a manual calibration. Notice it's using the calibration as the operation. The X and the Y-axis with the line in it, that icon denotes the calibration menu or a calibration function. The process will take approximately 47-48 minutes, and it'll walk through each of the different steps of the process and give you a percentage of completion here. Essentially what is going to happen though is the analyzer is going to utilize the onboard standard solutions and analyze them instead of analyzing the normal sample. This is a great way to allow the analyzer to to make sure that the results that it gives during the analysis are accurate. So it will separately measure the 0 standard below, measure it in both of the 2 colorimetric cells, followed by measuring the onboard 2 milligram per liter ammonia standard on board. Since the standard is ammonia, the third reagent, or actually R1, reagent 1, which is the hypochlorite solution, is added during the calibration sequence to both cells to convert the onboard ammonia standard into monochloramine. After the calibration completes, the analyzer will go back online if it passes the calibration and start analyzing the regular sample.